Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Salalah Grand Mall opens for public. Companies seized for violating environmental laws. Over 14,000 bags of chewing tobacco seized in Ibri. Israel and Gaza rebels agreed to Egypt-brokered ceasefire. Downtown shooting in US city Cincinnati leaves 9 injured. Over 4,000 hectares of land destroyed in wildfires in northwestern Spain. India defeat West Indies by 88 runs in 50-20 international, clinch series 4-1. Haaland off to flyer as Manchester City start title defence with win. Those are the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The Grand Mall of Salalah opened today for visitors. It was built at a cost of more than 30 million Omani riyals and is spread over an area of more than 50,000 square meters. The Salalah Grand Mall complex was officially opened with the aim of strengthening the retail sector, the entertainment industry and tourism in the Governorate of Dhofar, Oman News Agency reported. The Environment Authority in the Governorate of Dhofar has issued a number of seizure reports against a group of companies for violating environmental requirements. The Environment Authority said the following in a statement. Within the framework of the supervision and field inspection of private sector companies to monitor their compliance with environmental requirements, the General Directorate of Environment in the Dhofar Governorate has issued a number of seizure records against a group of companies for violating environmental requirements while obligating them to amend their conditions. The Consumer Protection Authority arrested an expatriate in possession of more than 14,000 bags of chewing tobacco in the Vilayat of Ibri and legal measures were taken against him. The Consumer Protection Department in Al Dahira Governorate was able to seize large quantities of chewing or non-smoking tobacco in the possession of an expatriate worker in one of the villages of Vilayat Ibri. This is part of the efforts made by the Consumer Protection Authority, represented by its various directorates and departments in various governorates, to combat the spread of prohibited substances which have an impact on the health and safety of the individual and society, CPA said. The authority added saying, the department searched and verified the information and then coordinated with the Public Prosecution Department in Al Dahira Governorate and the Al Dahira Police Command to raid the worker's site, where more than 14,000 bags of chewing tobacco were seized in his possession. It is in violation of Resolution number 256 by 2015, amended by Resolution number 301 by 2016, regarding the ban on the circulation of chewing tobacco. CPA affirms it will spare no effort to intensify monitoring of the markets and control everything that may harm the health and safety of the consumer and take legal measures against violators. It also calls on consumers to report any abuses that they may notice in the markets through various communication channels. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with international news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. The Office of Caretaker Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid confirmed on Sunday that a ceasefire with Palestinian rebels would come into effect at 11:30 p.m. local time. The Palestinian Islamic Jihad group had announced earlier that they agreed to the truce mediated by Egypt. Israel began its military operation labeled Breaking Dawn on Friday. So far, Israeli airstrikes have killed several senior Islamic Jihad members, including high-ranking commanders Khalid Mansour and Taysir al-Jabari. The Israeli military said both Mansour and al-Jabari were planning terror attacks. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 41 people have died from Israeli operations so far, including several children. Israel said the children were killed due to a misfired rocket by Islamic Jihad. According to Gaza authorities, at least 311 people have been wounded so far. The Palestinian rebels have launched hundreds of rockets at Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv and Ashkelon. So far, 2 Israelis have been wounded as civilians rushed to shelters due to the rocket fire. Israel also said Palestinian mortars damaged the Israel-Gaza-Erez border crossing. The US, EU and other members of the international community have called for de-escalation of tensions. US President Joe Biden welcomed the ceasefire on Sunday, adding that he supports an investigation into reports of civilian casualties. He released a statement calling on all parties to fully implement the ceasefire and to ensure fuel and humanitarian supplies are flowing into Gaza as the fighting subsides. 9 people were injured after a shooting in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio early Sunday morning. 2 people involved in a group fight pulled out guns and exchanged fire in the historic Over-the-Rhine neighborhood, according to Cincinnati police. An officer fired a round at one of the shooters, who later fled the scene and whose condition was unknown. No arrests have been made yet. The victims, whose ages range from 23 to 47 years old, were treated at the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries and have all been released. The United States has suffered at least 402 mass shootings so far this year, according to the latest data from the non-profit Gun Violence Archive. Over 4,000 hectares of land have been destroyed in 7 wildfires that are still burning in the autonomous community of Galicia in northwestern Spain, according to local firefighting services on Sunday. At least 2,000 hectares have so far been ravaged by the largest fire close to the city of A Coruña. There have not yet been any casualties, but the flames have forced the evacuation of 700 people from a campsite. The fire in the province of Orens has burned 600 hectares after starting simultaneously in 10 different places, but has been brought under control. Most of the fires were thought to be started intentionally, according to local media reports. The leader of the main opposition party, Alberto Núñez Feijóo, who is also the former president of the regional government of Galicia, called for the full weight of the law to be brought on those responsible for the fires. According to data collected by the Copernicus satellite on Saturday, around 230,000 hectares of land have been burned in wildfires in the driest summer on record in Spain this year. The central government on Monday approved a new law to help prevent future fires, which includes measures such as increasing all year-round vigilance and removing undergrowth to prevent flames to spread rapidly. Those are the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports stories. Ravi Bishnoi's 4 and Akshar Patel's 3-wicket haul guided India to victory against West Indies by 88 runs and clinched the series by 4 for 1 at the Central Broward Regional Park Stadium turf ground in Lauderhill on Sunday. Chasing the target of 189, West Indies got off to the worst start as they lost their 3 wickets in the power play to Akshar Patel, Jason Holder, Shamara Brooks and Devon Thomas. West Indies kept on losing wickets, and after 10 overs of the innings, their scores read 64 for 4. Captain Nicholas Pooran was LBW by Kuldeep in the 18th over. Bishnoi bagged 2 wickets in the 12th over. He sent Roman Powell and Kimo Paul LBW to the pavilion. In all the struggle, Shimron Hatmeyer brought up his half-century in the 26 balls, and shortly after he was sent back to the pavilion by Ravi Bishnoi. West Indies lost 6 wickets for a total of 88, and the next 4 wickets fell within just 12 runs, handing India the 88 runs victory. Earlier opted to bat first, India scored 188 run thanks to Iyer's half-century, which opened the innings for the first time in T20 internationals. Hardik Pandya and Deepak Hooda both contributed crucial runs in the death and middle overs. The Shreyas Iyer and Hooda pair gathered 76 runs in only 7.1 overs, and their partnership was stunning as the duo kept hitting many 4s and 6s. After the middle orders batters, Sanju Samson and Dinesh Karthik were unsuccessful to leave a mark. It was the stand-in captain who displayed his trademark big hitting abilities and smashed 28 runs in 16 balls to help India pull a total of 188 on the board. Erling Haaland didn't need long to make his mark on the Premier League as Manchester City's star signing scored twice and his side kicked off their defence of the title with a 2-0 win away to West Ham United. The Norwegian titled a potentially difficult game with a 36-minute penalty after he had been brought down in the West Ham area. He then sealed the points from a game City dominated from start to finish with a cool finish after excellent work from Kevin De Bruyne as Pep Guardiola's team started off the new season as they ended the last one. Those are the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.